us of the H. Lee Scott Speaker Series. But before we do, let's pause for just a minute and note those who made this series possible, Linda and Lee Scott. As benefactors of the series, Linda and Lee have established an endowed fund designed with 3 specific goals in mind. Number 1, deepen the level of campus discourse. Number 2, enrich the university experience. And 3, elevate the university's reputation. You might ask, how can a speaker series do this? It will do so by examining American life from the perspective of nationally prominent leaders, thinkers, and innovators. Linda initiated this gift as an effort to honor and recognize the leadership role Lee played on the world stage. And it's fitting that such a gift was directed to Lee's alma mater. Just as he rose from modest means to the pinnacle of American and international business,
persuaded that they are somehow doing God's will to kill totally innocent, anonymous people, and that it's a really smart thing to take about 60 years off their own lives because they'll go immediately to heaven if they kill a bunch of people they never met, who never did anything to them or anybody else. That's the downside of technology. But what will never be in the headlines, but is in the trend line, is the upside of the explosion of the cell phone and the social media. Or the fact that the cell phone has done more to increase incomes of ordinary people in isolated circumstances than any device ever. 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when the tsunami hit South Asia, I went with the first President Bush and worked there a year, and then I stayed on for 2 more years to work for the United Nations. And we put all these fishermen, or if they died, their family members, back in the water. In Indonesia, in India, Sri Lanka. This time, however, we put them all in the water with a cell phone. And for the first time in their lives, they knew what the price of fish was up and down the coast. Their incomes went up an average of 30%. What's all I got to do with you in America now? Because you're living in a time when the headlines are bad because of our interdependence, but a lot of the trend lines are good. And we're condemned to share the future. So the only question is, what are the terms on which we're going to share it? And if you believe that, then whether you're in Pittsburg, Kansas, or New York City, or Los Angeles, California, or the smallest, remotest place in Idaho, the real question is the same. How can you maximize the potential and minimize the peril of this age? For office, you don't have to run a big company like Walmart. You don't have to be a school teacher and have a job full-time, public service, although it's still maybe the most important job after parenting in any society. But you got to have some space that shows you're aware that we are going to share the future, and we have to share it on a positive side. If you decide that, then you have to figure out, if I know what I want to do and I can give a good answer to why, how will I do it? How do I turn my positive intentions into positive changes? How do I really make something happen?
thank you.
He wants me to go.